left.
Coach, Greg Eklund, and this is for Kansas Public Radio. Two-part question. One, you'll be trying to win the Cotton Bowl on the same field where Jordy Nelson won a Super Bowl ring. Can you reflect on what he's been able to do for his team? And secondly, since he was a walk-on and B.J. Finney is a walk-on for this year's team, can you gauge the success that your walk-ons have provided for your program?
Well, I think we've probably been known to a certain extent to be able to bring young guys in a program not highly recruited, and have had the good fortune and blessing to have some wonderful young people join our program, eventually earn scholarships and go on to become very successful at our level, and so many that have gone on into the NFL and had great success. Jordy certainly exemplifies that, as many do. Jordy came to us as a defensive back, as a walk-on in our program, not recruited Smith Center, or not Smith Center, but Riley County, which is just a stone's throw from Manhattan, and really did a wonderful job for us. An excellent person, wonderful young man, and we've moved him from safety position to wide receiver position, and he became a very, very talented player for us. And as I said, we have a number of young guys. BJ is just one of a number of walk-ons that we have in our program. Jordan Folker is a starter on the other side of the ball, the walk-on in our program, and there are others there as well.
In the middle left.
Hey, Coach Kelstrom again. How big of a role do you think Chris Dawson has played in your program the last 2 years, and how has he kind of changed the culture in the weight room since he's come on board?
Well, we've always had, I think, very talented strength and conditioning coaches, as we have, on the field position coaches. Chris has done a wonderful job for us. I mean, he is a kind of young person that we'd love to have in our program. He's very committed to what he does. He works diligently and very hard at what he does. He brings a good deal of discipline to our program, and our youngsters have great respect for him, and that's a vital element of working with young people 18 to 22, 23 years of age. He's been super.
About 3/4 of the way back on the left.
Coach, you talked about getting kids in your program that fit your culture and are willing to be coached. You look at your roster and you can't help but notice the number of junior college players on your roster. We talk about recipes for success and that sort of thing in Manhattan. Can you talk about your recruiting philosophy and the junior college kids that have really helped your program?
Well, we've had a lot of youngsters that have helped our program, benefited our program, that have come from community colleges or been transfer students, as well as high school youngsters. And my feeling, I've said this so many times, that sometimes a lot of people might stigmatize a youngster who has gone through a community college, quote unquote baggage, etc. There must have been a problem, or he wouldn't have gone to a community college. And I don't necessarily see it that way. I view, and those of you from the local media in Kansas, have heard me say this so many times. A good person is a good person, and a bad person is a bad person. And we have good young guys from high school, community college, and transfers, as I indicated, and that's what's important to us. People that fit the values that are significant to our football program. Values in terms of how they conduct themselves, how they handle themselves, what kind of work habits they have, how they carry responsibility, their accountability factor, toughness and discipline. All those kind of things become really significant to us, and regardless of what age bracket or what level of education that you come from.
Hey, Coach. Greg Moss, Fox 1 Dallas. You guys have had such experience of these tight ball games, exciting finishes. What's that been like to experience this season from the sideline, and how might that help you in the bowl game?
It probably didn't help my health much at all, and so I have to have a cardiac surgeon close by on every one of our ball games. It's how is it on the sidelines? I've been doing this for an awful long time, so it seems as though there's an awful lot of extremely close ball games in this season, but we've played a lot of close ball games over the years. Maybe not as many, certainly I guess not as many as we have this year, but for me, I'm proud of our youngsters and proud of our coaches, because it indicates some of those values that we hold so dear, the discipline, to have the toughness to come back from adversity, to be able to never give in and continue to fight the battle, etc. And that's really been the case with this football team throughout the year for the most part, and I'm proud of that.
Kevin Haskin, Topeka Capital Journal. Bill, I'm curious about a senior on this squad, Alex Rebeck, who had been a pivotal guy for you on defense. This year had to take on a different role, and I was just wondering if he was still able to exert some leadership for you as a senior in the program.
Now, Alex is a captain for us, and lost his starting job, or played a great deal last year. Was a part-time starter for us, but has been an amazing young man. And that doesn't mean, when I say he lost his starting job, still a very, very fine player. He cares. He again exemplifies what I would like for our program to be all about, and those type of values that I just shared with you. And he's there every single day. He does everything that he can to try to help his teammates. He is a legitimate team player who genuinely cares and will do anything in the world for his teammates, and very, very unselfish young guy. I admire him immensely. Will be a very successful human being.
We're going to take the question on the left, and then we need to come to the front, so we've got some questions up here.
Coach, it seems like the coaching industry is a small world. I'm right here. Have your paths crossed with Bobby Petrino before at any time, and what do you know about him and his coaching style? What do you think about his coaching style?
Well, I haven't. I've talked to Bobby on the telephone prior to this ball game. Have not had any other contacts with him. Certainly, very obvious in regards to his coaching talents. Been very successful. I think put together 2 back-to-back 10-win seasons, and the successes that he has had, throughout his coaching career. I have a very, very, very talented coach. I respect immensely what he's done.
Hey, Coach Bob Holt again. What's it like playing in a stadium, coaching a stadium that's named after you, and driving around on a highway that's named after you there?
Well, they make me go out on the highway and pick up trash. I'm the guy walking down there with the bag for whatever that is, 20 miles or so. But I try not to think about it a great deal. You're humbled by it, quite obviously. I think when you step on the game field for practice or for a game, it's the furthest thing from your mind. I would reiterate what I've said so many times. When they ask if they wanted to do that prior to my retirement, and I said that would be fine, but it's a necessity that you add the word family. And in family, the implication of family means certainly my immediate family, or all of my family, but collectively it means the Kansas State family. Because people, I always go back to the people of Kansas State and how special they truly are, and how wonderful we've been treated in my tenure there. And I wanted the stadium to carry that implication, that it's about all K-Staters all across the country and all across the world that have been so special to our program.
Question on the front right.
Hi, Coach. Eric Smith, Topeka Capital Journal. I was wondering if you could tell me a little bit about Sam Johnson, quarterback. I think he was named Scout Player of the Year for your team. Just wanted to see why he earned the honor, and kind of if you could just get anything about that.
Well, Sam is a wonderful youngster, and then again embodies all of those values that I've mentioned on numerous occasions. Works the scout squad is undersized, and but he's an amazing young guy, and he works so diligently at it, and he takes like a number of our youngsters do. I mean, he takes his role so very, very seriously. He realizes his value in assisting our defense prepare for each opponent that we play and works diligently at it. My office overlooks the stadium, and we work out in the stadium quite a bit. And after practice, and the lights will be on, and they're trying to turn the lights off, everybody will be off of the field, and I'll go in my office and put tape on and look out the window, and there's Sam out there all by himself. You know, sometimes he'll coach somebody, it depends on what the weather's like, who will stay and who will not, and he'll be out there throwing to them, and if there's no one else out there, he'll be working on his drops and his footwork on all the things he does. He'll stay out as long as a half hour after practice sometimes just to do that. He's a wonderful young person.
Outside left.
Coach Craig Eklund, Kansas Public Radio. When Charlie Weiss was hired at KU, he was pretty open about putting K-State on a pedestal as the kind of success that KU would like to emulate. How flattering is that?
Well, I appreciate anybody that says anything kindly about Kansas State. I don't know how to answer the question other than I'm gracious to anybody that says nice things about it.
Okay, this is going to be the final question for Coach.
Coach, what do you make of Zach Hanson's ability to step up when you really needed him and help out the offensive line? How big of a lift was he this season?
Well, I think tremendously, considering we lost our starting left tackle so early in the season, and for Zach to step in and accept that role and continue to improve and have some limitations on some of the things that he's can do during the course of the season, during practices. It speaks volumes, I think, about his worthiness as a member of our football team. I think he provides good leadership as well for our offensive line in particular, kind of helps draw them together, and it's been he's kind of the old hat on the offensive line. He implied as much as anything and helped guide some of those younger guys.
Okay, Coach, thank you very much for your comments. We wish you the best of luck, and we'll see you on Wednesday at the coaching stuff.
Thank you all very much.